Admiral Elena Vasquez stared at the tactical display in disbelief as red dots, thousands of them, emerged from hyperspace just beyond the moon's orbit. The hegemony had finally come for Earth, and humanity's home fleet looked pathetically small by comparison. "Ma'am," Lieutenant Park's voice cracked with barely controlled panic. "Sensors are reading 12,000 hegemony warships. Our entire defense fleet is 200 vessels." Elena closed her eyes for a moment, feeling the weight of humanity's impending extinction. The Terran Confederacy had fought the hegemony for 30 years across dozens of star systems, and every battle had ended the same way, in humanity's defeat. Now the war had come home. "All ships, battle stations," she commanded, her voice steady despite the hopelessness of their situation. "We make them pay for every inch." The hegemony fleet moved with mechanical precision, their massive dreadnoughts advancing in perfect formation. Admiral Karath, the hegemony's supreme war commander, had personally come to witness humanity's final destruction. His flagship, the Eternal Dominion, was larger than most human space stations. "Open a channel to the human fleet," Karath ordered, his serpentine features twisting into what passed for a smile among his species. This would be satisfying. Elena's face appeared on his view screen, defiant even in the face of overwhelming odds. Karath had to admire her species' stubborn refusal to accept defeat, even when facing extinction. "Admiral Vasquez," Karath began, "your resistance ends today. Surrender now, and I will grant your people swift deaths." "With respect, Admiral Karath," Elena replied, "go to hell." The transmission cut. Karath's forked tongue flicked out in amusement. "Begin the assault. Leave no human vessel intact." The battle lasted exactly 14 minutes. Elena watched her ships die one by one, their desperate attacks barely scratching the hegemony's advanced shields. The Defender's pride exploded in a brilliant flash. The new horizon broke apart under concentrated fire. Within minutes, only her flagship and a handful of smaller vessels remained. "Ma'am," Park called out desperately, "we're receiving an automated transmission from Lunar Base." It's coming from Section 7. Elena frowned. Section 7 had been sealed for over 2 centuries, part of the old lunar research complex that predated the Confederacy. Most records from that era had been lost during the data wars of 2387. "Put it through." The voice that emerged from the speakers was artificially generated, calm and professional, threat level, extinction. "Authorization required for Project Prometheus activation. Please provide command authorization." "What the hell is Project Prometheus?" Elena muttered, but she was running out of options. "Computer, authorization, Vasquez Alpha 77. Authorization accepted. Activating Project Prometheus." Warning: this system was classified beyond top secret by order of the Terran Science Directorate. Use only in case of species-level extinction event. On Luna's far side, something that had slept for 300 years began to wake up. The first sign something was wrong came when Karath's sensors detected a massive energy signature building on Luna's surface. "What is that?" he demanded. "Unknown, Admiral." The energy readings are unprecedented. A section of Luna's surface simply disappeared. Not exploded, not blasted away, it just vanished, revealing a perfectly circular shaft that seemed to descend all the way to the moon's core. From within that shaft, something rose. It looked nothing like human technology. The object emerging from Luna was a perfect sphere, 10 kilometers in diameter, made of what appeared to be liquid starlight. It pulsed with colors that had no names, and reality seemed to bend around its edges. "Admiral," the tactical officer's voice was barely a whisper. It's moving toward us." The sphere didn't travel, it simply existed at different points in space, as if distance was a suggestion rather than a law. One moment it was emerging from Luna, the next it was floating between the hegemony fleet and Earth. Karath felt something he hadn't experienced in his 2 centuries of conquest: genuine fear. All ships, target that object. Full bombardment. 12,000 warships opened fire simultaneously. The combined firepower could have sterilized a small planet. The energy beams and plasma bolts struck the sphere and simply stopped. They hung in space around it, like frozen lightning. Then the sphere spoke, not through radio waves, but directly into the minds of every being within 1,000,000 kilometers. I am the Prometheus Protocol. I am humanity's answer to extinction. I am what becomes necessary when peace fails. The frozen weapons fire suddenly reversed direction, returning to their sources with impossible precision. Hegemony ships began exploding across the entire fleet as their own weapons struck them with perfect accuracy. But that was just the beginning. The sphere began to sing a sound that bypassed the ears entirely and resonated in the quantum foam of spacetime itself. Where the song touched hegemony vessels, they simply ceased. Not destroyed, not disintegrated, they stopped existing, leaving perfect spherical voids in space that even light couldn't fill. Impossible, Karath gasped, watching his invincible armada vanish ship by ship. What are you? The sphere's voice returned, patient and terrible. I am what humanity built when they realized the universe was darker than they imagined. I am the sword they forged from the heart of a black hole and the shield they wove from folded spacetime. I am 300 years of fear, given form and purpose. Elena stared in awe as the hegemony fleet, 12,000 ships that had terrorized the galaxy for centuries, was systematically erased from existence. In less than 10 minutes, only empty space remained where the invasion force had been. The sphere turned its attention to the surviving human ships, and its voice became gentle, almost paternal. The threat has been neutralized. Returning to standby mode. Remember, I am here when you need me, but pray you never do. With that, the sphere folded space around itself and vanished, leaving only a small memorial buoy with a simple message: Project Prometheus, humanity's final answer. May it never be asked again. Elena slumped in her command chair, realizing that humanity had never been as helpless as they'd believed. Somewhere in their past, someone had built a weapon so powerful it could rewrite the laws of physics. And they'd hidden it, hoping it would never be needed. The hegemony war was over. The universe would remember this day as the moment an empire learned that some species should never be pushed to their breaking point. Earth's children were more dangerous than anyone had imagined, even themselves.